Actually, it is December 28th, 1963, when a 17-year-old boy decides that bedrooms can just be rooms for some other activities. A boy makes a decision that bedrooms can just be rooms for some other activities. Beds and blankets and mattresses, according to him, on this 28th December 1963, he feels like they are just things that can be meaningless. Mattresses, beds, bed sheets, pillows. According to him, they are meaningless. The boy's name is Randy Gardner. As Randy Gardner decides this way, Mother Nature stops everything and silently decides to just be observant. The boy makes a decision. Mother Nature stops everything just to be observant, to see what this boy is up to. The boy goes on minute after minute, day after day, hour after hour. And 15,864 minutes later, Randy Gardner surrenders on 8th January 1964. He says, "Let sleep be called sleep. Let it remain to be sleep." By the time Randy Gardner finishes 11th day, 24th minute without sleep, he had developed some conditions. Let's focus on these conditions. If somebody can go sleepless for 11 days, 24 minutes, I think this is the longest and verified time a human being has gone without sleep. If there are others, we are yet to be told, but this is the longest. This is the only verified time a human being has gone without sleep. So let's focus on what actually can happen, or what happens if you don't sleep. What happens if you don't sleep? That is the focus of the day. What do you think can happen if the world was rendered sleepless? If the earth was rendered sleepless? Let's dive and see what can happen to the human body. Number one, difficulty with the speech. At number one, difficulty with speech. It is said that lack of sleep significantly impairs speech, making it slower, softer, more monotonous, and prone to slurring or pause. Randy Gardner could not speak well. It is said it was on around day 8. He was more speechless. He couldn't utter a word. Sleep offers dangers of you going speechless. It alters speech. Sleep alters your speech. It will make you have difficulty with speech. At number 2, we are looking at visual problems. Visual problems. If you don't sleep, you can develop visual problems. Lack of sleep severely impacts vision, causing dryness, irritation, light sensitivity, and twitching eyelids. It hinders eyes' ability. It hinders eyes' ability to replenish tears and remove toxins. Randy could not see properly after the 11th day. By the time he is finishing his 11th day, his eyesight had been affected in a way he could not see properly. His vision was more blurry. His vision was more blurry. So if you don't sleep, or if you don't sleep well, you might have sight problems. At number 3, we have memory problems. Memory problems. It is like when you don't sleep, some connectors in your brain becomes, maybe we can say, rusty. If you don't sleep, some connectors in your brain becomes rusty. Lack of sleep severely impairs memory by disrupting the brain's crucial process of consolidating new information into long-term storage. So the new information can't be stored because it has been altered, it has been affected. This affects both short-term recall and the ability to learn, ability to focus, and ability to solve problems, making you forget details and struggle with new learning. So anything you learn now, if you don't sleep well, or if at all you don't sleep, it just passes through your mind and goes. It is never stored anywhere for you to be able to remember. So it causes memory problems. At number 4, we have hallucinations. If you don't sleep, you will develop hallucinations. You go some days without sleep, you might start seeing things that are not really there. You might start seeing things that are not really there. You hear voices that are not really in existence. Feeling things on your skin. You can see. Feeling the tickling on your skin. Something is crawling or something is itching. Those are effects of not sleeping well or not sleeping at all. Hallucinations. You see things that are not there. So the reality is these are what is there. But what this guy is seeing, there are different things. Then this guy also feels like or hears some voices that are not even in existence. This guy feels itchy, feels like things are crawling on his body simply because he didn't sleep well. At number 5, we have paranoia. This is misjudgment. You feel like people are after you. People are after your life. You are misjudging. You easily misinterpret neutral events as threats. You are misinterpreting neutral events as threats. This simply means you are over anxious with poor judgment. There was an MP who, on an election day, I think you saw what happened at Malava. The guy was screaming at the police post, saying, "Oh, you should take everything. You should." This guy was more of anxious, was just being anxious. He, if you look closely, you'll realize that this guy might have not missed sleep for some days or several hours. So he was just developing uh, this condition called paranoia. Paranoia. At number 6, we have mood swings. Mood swings. It is something that can develop if you don't rest well, if you don't sleep well. You will have or you will experience mood swings. Lack of sleep severely impacts mood, causing increasing irritability, anger, sadness, and stress. The moment you see people just getting sad for no reason, people just getting irritated for no reason, that could mean that this person is undergoing something. This person is just lacking enough sleep. This person is just lacking enough sleep. So if you lack enough sleep, you will develop a problem of mood swings. You just want to quarrel everyone. You just feel like being annoyed by small things. You just feel stressed up. Loss of motivation. This is the 7th one. Loss of motivation. Lack of sleep is a common cause of low motivation as it impairs brain functions related to emotion regulation, attention, and decision making. The moment you don't have sleep, everything becomes I can't do it instead of them being I can do it. You lack motivation. The motivation hormone gets very low or even is not there the moment you don't sleep. High blood pressure is at number 8. High blood pressure. Lack of sleep directly raises blood pressure by disrupting stress hormone, which is called cortisol, activating the fight or flight system, increasing inflammation, and preventing the natural nighttime drop in blood pressure. So if you don't sleep, expect your blood pressure to be high. That is, it is because the hormone regulation has been disrupted. The stress hormone regulation has been, in one way or another, disrupted. So you will realize that the moment you lack sleep, the moment you lack enough sleep, your blood pressure will always rise. However much you undergo medication, however much you try to reduce it, always check the natural way. Just have your enough sleep, and in one way or another, you will be reducing your blood pressure. So if these signs showed up with our boy Randy Gardner after 11 days, 24 minutes without sleep, why do we develop some of these signs on daily basis if at all we sleep? That's the question we should be asking. If these signs developed in somebody who did not at all sleep for more than 15,000 hours, 15,000 minutes, what is happening to us, the people who at least have time to sleep? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. Is it that we are doing something wrongly? Is it that we are doing something wrongly? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. If at all we slept, but we are still experiencing high blood sugar levels or high blood pressure levels. We slept, but we are experiencing mood swings. We slept, but we are experiencing lack of memory. We can't remember things well. We slept, but we are developing eye problems. We slept, but we are experiencing all those effects we have talked about in this video. Does it mean there is something we are doing wrongly? That's now the question we should be asking ourselves. So get ready, stay tuned for the next video because we are still talking about sleep. The other video I was talking about the rule of sleep. In this video, I've talked about what we lack or what we can undergo, what can happen to our bodies if we don't sleep. Coach Malwa is my name. If you haven't pressed the subscription button, this is the time. If you haven't liked this video, this is the time. If you haven't shared this video, because maybe there is somebody who is struggling, who does not sleep the recommended hours or the recommended minutes or the recommended duration. If you can share this video to this person, I think in one way or another, you could have helped. Or there is somebody who undergoes the effects we have just talked about in the video. But now, this person don't know where these effects are. Maybe it is just lack of sleep, but now this person is going for medication because this person can't remember things very well. Now he goes to seek medical advice instead of just going and resetting their sleeping schedule. Coach Malwa is my name. Thank you. Thank you very much.